Danish learner, welcome back to my channel Danish Matters. I'm Tina Bakker, your Danish friend and tutor. Today I would like to talk about something else than Christmas, but to me it is a little bit related to the Christmas month because in my family we have no less than 2 birthdays during the Christmas month, my son's and my father's. So that is what we're going to talk about today. If you talk to Danes about birthday celebrations, probably one of the first things they're going to mention is, of course, our flag. This one is actually one that we got for my daughter's baptism. My son used to have one as well, but he is in his 20s, and the one that he had was a wooden one. So along the way, during the years, it broke. This one, I hope it's gonna last longer. We use this for every birthday in my immediate family. We place it in front of their birthday boy or girl every time. And we also have flags as a, don't know how you call that in English. We would say guirlande in Danish. It's sort of like one of these like decor things. It could be for Christmas as well, but it's just flags that we place anywhere in the house. We also have pole flags that we would place in the vase. Some people, they have a pole that they would place outside their door. And some people, of course, as you might have noticed, have flag poles in their garden. So a big one with the real flag, you could say, our Dannebro. That's the name of our flag. Dannebro, it means sort of like Danish cloth in Old Danish. Yeah, so that's one thing that we use a lot. Some people would also put flags on what we call lavkage, which is, lavkage is the compound word of lag and kage. And when we put lag and kage together, the lag changes its pronunciation into lavkage, which is, it means a layer, yeah? So it's a layer cake, our birthday cake. So it's the same thing with other words in Danish that change their pronunciation. For example, the word træ, a tree. When you put it together, when you make a compound word with it, it becomes træ. For example, træsko, a wooden shoe, yeah? So that was a little pronunciation within their celebration talk here. Yeah, so one thing is our flag, and we place that on our layer cakes, lavkage. We would also have candle lights on our lavkage. Normally as many as their number of years that the person is turning. So if you turn 4, you would have 4 candles. It becomes a little more difficult if you turn 50. 50 is a lot, and maybe the cake is too small, or maybe it really is a fire risk. But some people do have a lot of candle lights on their cakes. It depends. Maybe if you turn 50, you could also just have like 5 candle lights, 1 for each 10 years. But of course, that's up to each person. We would place that on our birthday cakes, but some people would have both, some people won't have anything, some people would only have flags, some people only have candle lights. It depends. We have live candle lights, by the way, just like we do on our Christmas trees. But we are pretty used to handling that. Don't worry, if you're our guest, we'll take good care of you. We're not going to burn down the house. I have never seen it happen, so don't worry. Yeah, so flags and lights. And of course, another very important thing about birthdays is presents. Yes, we get and we give presents as well. So of course, a birthday boy or girl would also receive a birthday present, often from each guest, but sometimes guests would go together. If it's a more pricey one or bigger one, they would go together and give that together. It's also quite common that a person who's celebrating his or her birthday would make a wish list. So they might write something. If, say, I wish for nail polish, I would write neglelak on my list and I would give that to people. I would send it to them. It's not like in American movies where you see American weddings and you have this wish list that some kind of store has, and then you can check that out in the store. It's not like that. It's much more down to earth. You would just write it yourself. You would hand it to people or send it by email or messenger, whatever platform you're on. And people might talk together, or you might get several of one thing, so people would need to give you the receipt. That happens every year in families and friend groups, so don't worry about that. That's pretty normal. What is also normal is actually to give money. It's not a bad thing to give money in Denmark. I know it is in some countries. In Denmark, it's not. It's pretty common, I think. Maybe mostly for young people, teenagers, and up until people are more established in life. But I have seen people wish for money even in my age or older as well. So that might happen as well. But it's probably mostly for young people. Often if they wish for something pretty pricey, they would wish for money so that you don't have to think about and pay for this very expensive thing, but you can just give whatever you can afford. You give that, and then other people would chime in, and then the person can buy whatever it is. That's also pretty common. Also because sometimes the person would like to choose a certain thing themselves. So that's when money comes in handy. So that's normal as well. Of course, another thing is the birthday song. And I would say that we have at least 2 birthday songs in Denmark. One is, we use the name for their birthday boy or girl. So it's just been my son's birthday. So let's take his name. His name is Daniel. So it would go something like this. I dag det Daniels fødselsdag, hurra, hurra, hurra. Han sikrer sig en gave for, som han har ønsket sig i år. Med dejlig chokolade og kager til. That is just one verse. There are more, but I'm going to spare you. But that's one song, and that's the real Danish birthday song. In the children's songbook, it is actually for Ole, O-L-E, so it's I dag det Oles fødselsdag. Yeah, but you just put in the name of the person. And for younger kids, there is also one that we call Den med instrumenterne, the one with the instruments. That means that we're going to make sounds for different instruments. It could be going like a trumpet, like that. It could be clapping. It could be drumming on something. It could be a lot of different things. It's usually pretty funny to do, fun to do. It goes something like this. We could take my daughter's name. Her name is Victoria. So Victoria. Victoria har fødselsdag, og det har hun jo, og det er i dag. Victoria har fødselsdag, og det har hun jo i dag. Og hør nu her, hvordan vi alle. And this is the time when we choose an instrument. So, and listen now, we are all going to maybe go like a trumpet or something else. Someone within the group of guests will sort of take upon them to choose. It could also be the child or the youngster that chooses. But someone is going to tell you or show you what you need to do. So don't worry, you just follow along and it will be all fine. So that's our birthday songs. It's also very common to sing the English one, Happy Birthday to You. That's also very normal. Some people get just one birthday song. Some people get all 3. It depends. Yeah. If you're going to celebrate a birthday for a child, you would also be expected to throw a kid's birthday party. That means that at least when they're in school, you would be expected to do that. And normally in Denmark, you would invite their children of the same gender as your own child. So if you have a boy, you would invite all the boys. If you have a girl, you will invite all the girls. If your child plays with both boys and girls, maybe you invite the whole class. Yeah, I know. We have only had one gender represented at the time, and let me tell you, maybe 8 or 10 boys inside during December is going to like make the roof like fly up in the air. It's pretty noisy, but it's happy noise at least. But that's what we've had during the years. Yeah. So you're expected to do that. You would give out invitations, or your child will in school, or you would send them or put them in their mailbox where they live. Depends on how things work, how far apart the children live, but that's how it works. At the parties, you might serve lavkage, you might serve buns with jam or other goodies that you like. You would sing the birthday song. And about presents, it differs from class to class, that is school class to school class. In my children's classes, we came up with the idea that we would give money, but only the number of kroner that they turned. So if they turned 10, they would get 10 kroner from each guest, that is each child going to their birthday party. So of course the clever child would quickly do the math and say, I'm going to earn 80, I'm going to get 80 krona or fias, yeah? But we would do it in a creative way. So we might put their little coins, not just 1 10, but we would maybe have 10 1 krona put on a drawing or in a bottle with water and glitter, so that when you shake it, it becomes all glittery, or something else on lollipops, or because a lot of our cash money has a hole, right? So you could actually put it on a lollipop if you want that. Different kinds of things. People did all types of creative things, and it was just fun to see that. But that's what we did. In some classes, they just go buy a gift. It really depends. You ought to ask another parent about it, because you can never know. But that's what we did. And in terms of where to throw the party, it's normal that you do that at home. Denmark is a very home-loving nation. People love their homes, and they have lots of parties at home. So we would expect to be invited to your home, or the children would expect to be invited to your home. But some people do go out. We have had a birthday party in an indoor pool. That's what we did one year. But most people go to the home of the child. Some people go to McDonald's. I mean, there are people going out, right? We also one year we went to, I think it's called Filminstituttet, where they could actually make a very, very short film movie of 1 minute, but it took many hours to make it. It was quite fun. But yeah, we paid, of course. The guests or the parents of the kids are not supposed to pay anything. That's not how it's done in Denmark. They don't pay. They pay for a gift. That's it. So we had some help for the transportation and so on. But that's up to the parents. But most children, they celebrate their birthdays in their home with their fellow classmates. You might also have one, or have one if they're in kindergarten maybe, just for their friends. It also depends, but mostly if they're in school, you would be expected to throw one at home. You choose the time and the day, of course. So I hope that you have survived this video where you have been through me singing. I actually like to sing, but not all people like to sing or like hearing other people sing. So I hope you survived this video. Of course, if you would like a Danish course with me, you can write to tina@danishmatters.dk. And I just got left to say, happy Danish learning!